because we understood that this nigga was clearly lying.
The shit ain't funny.
PB.
Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Man, look at those mad mugs right there. Yes. It's absolutely stunning to me. Stunning. But the more I dug into what happened, the more I realized it wasn't so much my listeners, it was other people that fell for this. Before we get started, if you can hit the thumbs up button, and if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold or silver or any other precious metals, check out our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $200, you'll get an additional ½ ounce of silver if you just click the link down below. It's also a great way to help support the channel. Also, I can be found on other social media websites. I do have my own webpage called Pimpy's News Network. Over here, I have the opportunity to talk about subject matters that I cannot talk about on YouTube without getting a violation or being removed. So come check me out on Pimpy's News Network. I do have a YouTube channel called The Other Side of Things for people watching me on other social media networks and do not realize that I have a YouTube channel. So come check me out over here. On Facebook, I do have my own Facebook group called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as other foreign currency investments or any other investments that you guys want to talk about. Just let me know. Come join. It's free to do so. I can be found also on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, Odyssey, and yes, I do finally have a Rumble. I'm not sure why my videos are not popping up on my channel. Just go right here. If you put in Pimpy's Investment Chat. So my videos are posted. I just don't see them on my channel yet, but I'm definitely on Rumble. All the links for all these social media platforms can be found down below. So come on over and join. It's for free. And if I should ever get kicked off YouTube, you'll know where else to find me. Okay, there's a couple of things to go over. I am just going to cover one article that's in the news because I don't want to be on too long. So in regards to the April Fool's rainbow currency prank that I did in the video, when I first went to do the video, I was like, no, I don't want to do that because people will probably take it serious. And then I said to myself, no. People that have been listening to me for a long time know when it comes to things like this that, I have to be, it's April 1st. Most likely I'm being silly. Okay. So I said, no problem. I put the video together and went ahead and posted it. Boy, was I wrong. As I'm chatting with people and I said, come on, guys, you guys have been listening to me talk about these things now for quite a long time. And you had to have known on April 1st, there's going to be an April 1st joke. I wouldn't really joke about that kind of thing. I would joke about the people, but not so much the subject matter unless it's so blown out of proportion, then I have no choice but to just mock it and make fun of it so damn much that people realize how ridiculous it sounds. And then, of course, one of the people that were in the chat said, well, that's just it. You're the one that did the prank. We were thinking there's no way in how, even if it is April Fool's, that Pimpy would do that. Just because of all the other people, the way they talk about Nasera, or the Iraqi Dinar and everything else versus the way you talk about it. And I said, wow, boy, I thought that had made it even funnier, but apparently not. You have all these people out there saying this crap. And let me just say something. I have a Facebook group. There's a lot of people in there. In there, I allow everybody to post other people's bullshit. Even if I don't agree with the other YouTubers, as many times as I've challenged any of them to debate, they're not going to come on the show because I kick the shit out of them when it comes to debates. I'll be respectful, but I'm just going to be blunt and honest. So none of them will ever take me up on this crap because they make too much money and they don't want to get exposed. And they're not going to take me up on any kind of debate. Having said that, I allow people to post other things from other YouTubers or other chat groups because I think it's important that you guys go out there and take a look at what other people are saying about the Iraqi Dinar, the Vietnam Dong, Nasera, or even cryptos or anything else. This way then, as you go around and you read and listen to all these different people, it gives you a variety, which is very important. But by now, you should be able to weave through who's full of shit and who's not, okay? So, shockingly, a large amount of people fell for that prank. Some of you got it. And then as I go through, I realized that a bulk of the people who were pranked were not people who listen to me on a regular basis. So I was partially going, there's some of you out there, though, I'm worried about you guys. There's so much other bullshit out there, and you guys want to get pissed about an April Fool's joke? Let me guess, you probably went to work, did a little dance, flipped your boss off, and told him to bite one because you thought these things were real. Let me show you what kind of crap I'm talking about. When you see stuff like this, I have some news, amigos. I have 100% confirmation that some people are getting their notifications for the bonds and are traveling to Reno, and some are already there. Now listen, this person's claiming that they have 100% confirmation. Where are the receipts? That's what you should be asking. Well, that's nice that you're saying that, but we know there's so many people out there that's full of crap. Where is your proof? Show us something official. Show us something that's tangible, not, well, my secret handshake, coda ring wearing friend can't talk to anybody and I can't give out details. I can only tell you the story. They say that all the time. Don't fall for that. They use all the right keywords like God talked to me, God told me, my CBI contact person, my special intel person. You know, it's just bullshit, dude. They don't have anything. They never have. I'm willing to bet huge effing money against any of these people out there that the one person who actually has actual contacts would be me. I don't talk about them because they can't tell me anything of real importance because they would get in trouble for this. And so anybody out there saying, well, my so-and-so contact is telling me, or my special military, no, they don't. No. If they've been around for a long time, go back to their videos from 1952 and you'll hear them talking about the same things over and over. The redemption screen numbers, the people at the redemption centers are standing by, numbers on the back screens, all that bullshit, dude. It's just crap. I know you guys are excited. I know you want this to happen so bad. We all do. But I'm not going to lie to people about crap like this unless it's April 1st. I'm just not going to do it. And there's tons of people out there doing that. And on my channel, I'll talk about the news most of the time, but from time to time, I'll go through and educate you on what it is you need to know and what you should be looking for. The problem is a lot of you are really lazy. You don't want to listen to those types of videos. You just want somebody to tell you when it's going to happen. So that leaves you wide open to vulnerable news to the point where we can't even make a joke about it without people losing their minds. So again, I could be blocking all these people and telling them not to post other people's shit in my group. I don't do that. It's open for everybody. Unless it's somebody who's scamming people or somebody who's really full of shit. Uh-oh, somebody's in the doghouse. Pimpy just came out and said his rainbow currency story was a joke. Gee, I guess it being April Fool's wasn't a big enough hint, but okay. Not funny, Pimp, and now you're off our intel list. There's a list? Am I on some kind of special intel list? Is that where all the cool people hang out? I didn't even know I was on a list. Wow. Well, that's a shame. I have to do my best to earn my way back onto that list. But the fact that somebody had to post something like this tells you how big this thing got. It's unbelievable. And like I said, the vast majority of them are people who do not listen to me on a regular basis. And so they fell for it. But then if you go over to YouTube and you just start looking up things for the dinar, you see crap like this. 4 hours ago, 500 dinars for every dollar. That's a pretty good exchange rate. Wow, dinar RV approved. IKD exchange rate increased today. That was 13 hours ago. The dinar new rate is $5. Wow, Iraqi dinar, huge, $3.78. And there's all kinds of videos like that. Or you'll see faces like Mel here. Oh my God, then she must be having something really important. That's why one day I mocked it and put a video of me going, dinar is floating 1-to-1. That was 1 day ago. Is it floating 1-to-1? No. Let me tell you something right now. There is no in-country, out-country special rates. I don't care what the hell people tell you. All you have to do is apply common sense. If that was the case, you would have people smuggling money all day long. In other words, if somebody is selling 1,750 dinars for every dollar, I would take as much money as possible, buy all those dinars, turn around and go back into Iraq's bank and exchange my dinars for American currency at the fixed rate of 1,300 dinars for every dollar. I'd be pocketing another 450 dinars in revenue. So no, there is no in-rate country. There is no special rate for officials. There's none of that crap. That doesn't make any sense. Just use your head just a little bit here. I've done so many videos exposing that crap. It's not funny. Anyways, here's my group, as you guys are all aware. And if you go down in here, see, I allow people to post other people's videos and information. I don't have a problem with it. Just be careful. I've warned a lot of people about this so that you can go check it out or listen to the other people, but just be very careful. Now, Lisa's really good about posting a lot of information in there, and although she posts people I don't agree with, she's allowed to do it. Again, it just depends on the individual. If you're scamming people or the videos that you're posting are so outrageously ridiculous, then I'm going to say no. For the most part, I don't have to babysit people. They do pretty good about posting other information that they share with one another. So let's get into the Iraqi news, because this is pretty interesting article, and it's good if you own the Iraqi dinar. Remember, I was telling you, although the Iraqi dinar is currently pegged to the US dollar, what's about to happen to the US dollar is going to be pretty devastating for the people that live here in the United States, unfortunately. But as we watch the US dollar crash, other currencies are going to increase in value against the US dollar. Of course, there are other conditions that got to line up with it as well. But for the most part, you're going to see one way or another that currency increase in value. In addition to that, remember, we went over on a couple of different videos showing you what the real exchange rate is of the Iraqi dinar. When we took in consideration all of the Iraqi dinar in circulation, all the gold reserves, all the foreign asset reserves, and we did our little calculation and we found out what the rate was approximately. So let's go over this article. Reserve currencies of the dollar as a store of value and secondary reserves in central bank. It said it is very important to keep abreast of changes and developments in the global economy and economic applications and practices, especially the trend towards economic pluralism and the transition from the dollar to reserve currencies for bilateral or interregional exchanges between countries with whom we have a large volume of trade exchange in light of the sustainability of the proceeds of oil exports in US dollars and the possibility of benefiting from the experience of Brazil, China, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the BRICS group, and some African and Arab countries on dealing with the statutes in local or reserve currencies instead of the US dollar, and the gains of systematic transformation in the system, financial payments to economic diversification. In other words, let me translate this for you. We're going to go ahead and drop the United States dollar as the reserve dollar, is what they're saying. It's not happening yet, although they've already said they're going to do it. Yesterday, China and Russia said they're going to do it. Now you're seeing other nations are saying the same thing. And I know that our government is posturing, going, no, this is part of a much, much bigger agenda. So, the United States posturing against China and Russia is just bullshit. I'd be more concerned about what they're doing, that they're purposely trying to get us into a war. If I didn't know any better, this damn government and this White House right now, their plans is to turn this country over to those countries, okay? So here you have them telling you that the US dollar most likely will be used along with other currencies. If that's the case, that means the purchasing power of the United States dollar is going to devalue. For decades, we've been getting away with shipping our inflation to other countries. Well, that's coming back to kick us in the ass. Because if you think the cost of goods going up right now is expensive, that is nothing compared to where it's going to be. Considering that the United States doesn't really make anything anymore because we outsourced everything to places like China, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, to name a few. Said the importance of this is specifically for Iraq at the level of economic diversification and the systematic and transitional transformation in the system of financial payments in a tangible way from the rentier economy to the model of diversification of the Iraqi national economy. Remember, I told you there's something going on. Although al-Sudani was playing really nice and getting along with the Biden administration, I just didn't think that Biden was buying it. And they've been buddying up to Kurdistan is what they're doing. Without a doubt, there is no doubt about the role of reserve currencies, the yuan, the euro, the ruble, and others for dealing with non-dollars or interdealing between countries in trans-dollar currencies that have been going for a long time. The concept of the reserve currency is linked to the role of the pound played in the global economy from the end of the 19th century to the middle of the 20th century. The main function of the reserve currency is to facilitate the international exchange of goods and services by solving the problem of coordinating transactions in the foreign exchange market and reducing transactions costs by foreign trade operations. In addition, reserve currencies are used as a store of value and are held as reserves by central banks in most countries in the world. You see, that's why the United States felt comfortable about printing out trillions and trillions of dollars, supposedly, because they knew they were the reserve currency. Now, what sucks about all that is if we lose our status as a reserve currency, then all those dollars are going to come back to haunt us, because something has to happen to those dollars. And when people start, and when other countries start dropping those dollars, then there's no demand for them. And that means those dollars are saturated in our country, which means that currency isn't worth a shit. The demand for reserve currencies is provided by economic and financial agents working in all areas of global economies. Depending on the function performed by the reserve currencies in international transactions, the amount of demand and then the degree size of the use of the reserve currency is determined by the quality of performance of each of the main functions. As a result, the effects of this begins to work when the use of the reserve currency by a large number of economic agents becomes a factor that increases demand for reserve currencies. So the fact that everybody around the world does trade in US dollars creates a huge demand for the dollars. Like I said, if they stop using the US dollars, then all those dollars that are out there won't be in demand. Think supply and demand. If you have a very limited number of things that are valuable, they become more valuable. But if you have a ton of an item, then it's not really valuable, is it? Now, where we're going to benefit is United States currency is an international currency. Russia, China, Brazil do not have international currency. That's the one thing that we'll benefit from. Plus, take in consideration that there's nobody who's going to trust Russia or China to be the reserve currencies just because nobody trusts those countries. Now, here's where the other currencies will start to go up against the US dollar. There are methodological factors and bases for the formation of reserve currencies, including the Chinese yuan, the Russian ruble, the Iranian rial, and others, which requires the development of foundations of the currency system and the methodological and objective foundations for it, making recommendations on its more balanced regulations and identifying factors that can improve the position of the Chinese yuan, ruble, euro, and others as a regional reserve currency. The importance of dealing with balance between Iraq's oil exports and US dollars currently with gas in the future, and balances with the trade balance and the volume of trade and economic exchanges with other countries. So, thank goodness I'm holding on to some Iranian rial. I was waiting for that sucker to go up, and if they do become part of the basket of currencies, all those currencies that are part of this basket of currencies will see an increase in exchange rate, only because you'll need more of those currencies in order to do trade. So there you have it. And I know people are claiming these are the real rainbow currencies coming up. No, it's not. All those currencies are going to do is just be part of a reserve currency basket. Now, they'll benefit from it if they're being used regularly. That means the demand for the currencies from those other countries will increase, and the exchange rate will increase as well. So hang tight, people. Well, let's find out what happens to the US dollar as it loses its dominant position as a reserve currency, because it will lose its value against the other currencies. But also we'll keep an eye on the other currencies as they rise against the US dollar. Anyways, that's it for now. I look forward to your comments, and I will catch you later. I'm out.